Our next guest, it's already known and has a proven track record for driving growth into dynamic business ecosystems. He just knows how to make the next partnership, when to do the next partnership, how to find the next $1 million product. With 5 years of experience in the blockchain industry, Daniel has constantly demonstrated his abilities, and he's constantly improving the MultiversX ecosystem. So let's welcome on the stage with a huge round of applause, Daniel Serb.
Well, I suppose the appropriate salutation would be GM NFT Bucharest, right? Okay, awesome. Oh, it's already going. Huh? There you go. So, for those that maybe don't know my name is Daniel. I'm the Vice President of Business Development within MultiversX. Super excited to be here with you today, guys, and I'd like to salute, the organizers for setting this up. It's not easy to organize an event, as the discussions have been previously on this stage. So, congrats on that, guys. Today, I want to talk about, and you already saw the title. By the way, I thought I was pretty smart by choosing this title, right? I was very proud of myself. Then I went online and I Googled it, and I saw there's like 1,000 titles exactly like this one. So there's nothing new. I'm not that brilliant. But what I want to cover today is where I think we are at the moment with the NFT industry, where we're heading, and what are some of the challenges. So let's start. I'm sure most of you are familiar with this graph in front of you, right? How many are familiar with this? Okay, some of you are familiar, but for those of you that are not familiar with this is called the technology hype cycle, right? So any new technology that appears is starting, has one way or another to go through this cycle, right? This is the technology hype cycle. So what you see there in your left, that's the innovation trigger, right? So that's all the new technologies. That's the birthplace of all the new technologies. Then, depending on the time frame, some of these technologies rise and the hype rises about them, and then you reach the peak of inflated expectations. That's the moment when all of us think, this is the holy grail of technology. This technology will 100% change our lives, change the world. I'm selling my house. I'm getting a divorce and marry a new younger girl. Don't do that. But basically, that's the peak of inflated expectations, right? And then, all of a sudden, boom, reality hits. This technology is actually, not solving all the problems in the world, right? That's the disillusionment phase. And then after that, we have the slope of enlightenment, where we understand a little bit, we ask the right questions, we understand, some of the benefits of the technology, but we're a little bit more cautious this time, right? More realistic. And then the plateau of productivity, that's mainstream adoption, right? If you discover a technology that has already reached the plateau of productivity, sorry, your opportunity is finished, right? That's the moment where the technology has already been adopted. There's no questions about it. Real use cases, everything's going in the right direction, right? So let's look a little bit at NFTs. In 2021, Gartner, if you're familiar with Gartner publication, in 2021 they said that NFTs at that time were at the peak of inflated expectations. What does that mean? You had the craze of the profile pictures, you had JPEGs of rocks selling for $500,000, you have Bored Apes, you had all these things happening, and Gartner said, this is where we are. We're at the peak of inflated expectations. Everyone is expecting NFTs to completely change the world. I still believe that, but in a different way. You'll see a little bit later. And then they said something really interesting. They said that it would take before 5 to 10 years for NFTs to reach the plateau of productivity, right? To reach mainstream adoption. So my question is, in my opinion at least, I think that at the moment with NFTs, we are in the disillusionment phase. And don't look at that as being something bad. That's a good thing. This is the moment where we're asking the relevant questions about NFTs. This is the moment where we're saying, what's behind this NFT? Who's the artist, right? What's the value that's being attached to this NFT, right? So I think it's relevant questions that we need to ask ourselves. That's a good stage. It means we already have like 2 stages before mainstream adoption of NFTs, right? So my question today is, what can we do to shorten that period of 5 to 10 years so that we can reach mainstream adoption? And I'm sure that in the NFT space, there's probably thousands and thousands of challenges. Who agrees with that? No challenges in the NFT space? Eh? It's tough, right? It's very tough, especially if you are an artist trying to make a name for yourself, trying to get those royalties, eliminate the middlemen and so forth. It's very tough. But today I want to focus on just 3 of the challenges that I see that are relevant and that we need to speak of in the next period. The first one has to do with culture and the reality of the world. The second one has to do with performance and user experience. And then the third challenge has to do with security. So let's dive in. I think that degen culture is amazing. I think it's one of the most powerful forces in the Web3 world. I expected some noise, guys, with this, but yeah. Am I alone here? Come on. You have to wake up. I did my part, right? I'm dressed in a bull, hopefully trigger the proper bull that's going to happen soon. Fingers crossed. So I think, when it comes to culture, I really believe that the degen culture is amazing. I think it's a force. I think it's a sort of revolution that shows, the rebellious in us, right? The rebellion in us. And I think that's amazing. I think that's beautiful. However, we want to be dressed in penguins and unicorns and whatever you feel like you want to be dressed in, but at the same time, you want to speak with that guy. He's an enterprise guy. We hate him. But we want him to implement the NFT technology. How do we do that? How do we keep the degen culture, be dressed up in unicorns and whatever, and still speak with that guy and tell him, yeah, I bought a rock for $500,000, JPEG rock, and yeah, by the way, you should definitely implement that NFT technology in your company. Yeah, and all the processes and everything that you're doing there, you should definitely do it because it's amazing. And the guy looks at me and, yeah, you're dressed up in a bull. Right? How do we combine these things? That's the reality that hits. We want the culture, but we want these big top shot guys come on board and do technology with us. And I think, at least from the perspective of MultiversX, and we are builders, the way to do it is amazing, beautiful products that they cannot ignore. So that takes me to the next point. Really, I think we seriously need to think about performance and user experience. If we want to reach the plateau of productivity, if we want mainstream adoption, we cannot tell people, hey, NFTs are cool, but you have to pay the fees for the NFTs more than the NFT costs. Doesn't make sense, does it? Hello, we need performance. We need blockchains that can do hundreds of thousands of transactions per second at negligible costs. We can play the game, guys, and be fantastic about, being in a certain community and do all that and do all that and do all that. But mainstream adoption is a serious business, and we need performance to reach mainstream adoption. That's why I always tell people, you can play around with NFTs, and that's fantastic, and I encourage everyone to do that. But, when you don't have performance of a high-performance blockchain, then I think that's an issue. I think you're just playing a short-term game. That's why I think people should look at MultiversX, because we have that performance. We have high throughput. We have low transaction cost. And on top of that, we have amazing, beautiful user experience. And what do I mean with that? Exporter. How many of you have Exportal on your phones? Yeah, I already knew that, but I know for the non-believers, let's say, bear with me for the non-believers or for the skeptics, right? Exportal is this super app that has everything related to finance in it, right? So you have your fiat money, your euro, you have your crypto. It's a multi-chain, non-custodial wallet. So you have different types of chains, not only our own chain, but you have Solana, you have Bitcoin, you have Ethereum, and other coins as well. You can easily swap between the two. So you can easily swap between crypto and fiat money. By the way, we have a hub section where it's like an app store directly on your super app. You can open the app store. You can open NFT marketplaces. You're already logged into that NFT marketplace. You can trade your NFTs. You can purchase them, and they are directly in your wallet. Fantastic, right? I can show my NFT directly in my wallet. By the way, I have a chat function in the app. So I can speak with my non-crypto friends from my contact list, and I can directly send them NFTs through the chat function. Those are the kind of products that realistically we really need to look at moving forward if we want to reach the plateau of productivity, if we want to reach mainstream adoption. I'm not saying we're perfect. You know, I wish we were, but we're not. I'm saying we have a beautiful product that still needs improvements, that is probably one of the best looking non-custodial wallets in the market right now. So, performance and user experience. Moving forward. That's something that is for the retail, right? For the average internet user, and that's fantastic. But the hard discussions come when we need to speak with enterprises, when we need to speak with those people that have been in the same sort of workplace for many years. They have all these procedures, bureaucracy. They want to hold on to their, procedures that they are so dear to their lives. And for those guys, whenever we're trying to speak with enterprises, they tell us, look, Daniel, I appreciate you guys. I think you're smart. Thank you very much. I think you guys are amazing. But look, I don't want to have my NFT collection next to unicorns and penguins and, all these things. I want to have my NFT collection in my own website. I want to have my NFT collection according to my own branding, according to my own identity, my own messaging, and I want it all professional and very simple. Please don't tell me something complicated because I don't want to do it, right? That's why we have XFabric. So XFabric is this amazing platform, no-code platform, specifically designed for enterprises where they can launch their own collections, they can launch their own pages and so forth. And by the way, very soon you'll have an update about XFabric with some new features that I cannot, unfortunately, speak of today. But keep an eye out for XFabric as well. We'll have some amazing updates coming up soon. But this is a product that is designed for businesses, for enterprises, for those people who don't feel comfortable of engaging in our degen stuff, right? So we need to have separate products for them as well. Last but not least, security. We can have best intentions possible with NFTs, with the blockchain. We really can. And I think most of us in the space, we have good intentions. We can have amazing performance, and we can have beautiful user experience. But without security, you're back to square one. That's why on MultiversX, I want to speak, I don't want to take the whole time of the conference, but I want to touch on just 2 points that I think are extremely relevant for you guys today and for us when we're discussing about security. One of them is the true ownership of NFTs. Does anyone know what that means, true ownership of NFT? Yeah. Fantastic. It means that on MultiversX, NFTs are similar to tokens, right, that you hold onto your wallet. So you don't have to interact with a smart contract, right, to speak with your NFT. It's a token. It's almost like a token that you hold, that nobody can take away from you. Compared to, let's say, some other chains where you have to interact with a smart contract, it's almost like going and speaking with the bank to access your money. That's the difference, right? So that's true ownership of NFTs. Then on top of that, we have something called guardians, or more clear 2FA on-chain security, right? So if you create a wallet on MultiversX, whether that's an exporter wallet or a web wallet, you have an option to enable your guardian, which means that if I have my 24-word seed phrase and make it public and put it on this screen, you cannot access my funds because I have my guardian enabled. I will receive a notification on my phone that says, do you approve for XYZ to send these funds to this other address? And I will say, no. So you cannot access my wallet. Does that mean we don't have wallet drainage on MultiversX? Yes, it means that we don't have that, right? So, security. Throughout the years, we've managed to create a vibrant ecosystem of startups. And I'm so humbled and happy that today with us, there's so many of you guys who are building on MultiversX, and I salute you today. I know it's not always easy. Most of the time, it's hardcore and hard and difficult. But thank you so much for building with us. Now, MultiversX is creating new opportunities at the grassroots levels for the community members to thrive and for newcomers to explore the ecosystem. So we are doubling down. I want to give you a teaser. I'm not going to give you the news today, but just a teaser, right? We're doubling down on our support for community leaders, creators, and the next generation of entrepreneurs, assembling tomorrow's heroes to truly build the most versatile blockchain that currently exists in the world. So we're super excited to announce a new initiative very, very soon, not today. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.